Hey everybody, heading back to the gym again. More tales from the Jeep. Hope you guys are doing great. And I want to talk to you a few minutes today. I'm going to keep this one short. Yesterday, man, I meant to be like a 10-minute video, and it ended up being 25 minutes. So I'm going to keep this one short. And I want to talk to you about consistency and habit, and especially consistency with habits. So yesterday I was at the gym, and one of my buddies there, Jimmy, was working out, and he asked me to shoot some videos of him hitting some hitting the weights, doing some bench pressing. And I ended up doing 3 little videos with him, and we were talking in between a little bit, and I've talked to him lots of times about this. He's actually he's actually the head trainer there. He's ripped as heck, and he's told me over and over and over again there's one buzzword with fitness that is huge, other than the fact that 80% of working out is your diet, but the consistency with that is what he was talking about. And we talked about that yesterday with consistency working out. And I've been told for years and years and years that diet is 80% of your workout, right? You go in the gym, you focus on one muscle, you tear that muscle down, you push it past your comfort zone harder than you have before, your tears down your muscles, but the right nutrition in the body, the right amount of protein, the right amount of sleep, nutrients, water, all that good stuff. Consistently, right, is what creates that, causes that muscle to properly rebuild itself stronger than what it was before, and you build muscle over time. And I've seen that in my own life, right? So I have no problem being consistent about going to the gym. I have problems being consistent with food, right? So for me, I can eat really clean for like 4 or 5 days straight, and I'll knock 3 pounds off. I can see my body shredding fat, and I'm stronger. I feel more vibrant. And then, I overeat pizza because, we got 9 kids, and we decided to order pizza. Instead of eating a slice of pizza, maybe a piece of chicken for some protein and a salad and, some good balance. I ate 6, 7 pieces of pizza, man. Then later on, we're watching the movies, right? So we got some treats in the house, so I might as well eat like, a bag of Sour Patch Kids or something like that. I'll do that a couple of days, and then I'll get back on the track, and I'm Mr. Rigid again and back on track, right? Inconsistency constantly. So I think the reality is get a consistency across the board is really one of the biggest determining factors of success. So one of my favorite quotes by T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right? And this is a quote that I tell people all the time. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you find yourself being inconsistent with your workouts, with the way you eat, you're probably being inconsistent with your business, with your relationships, with your kids, your marriage, any other areas of your life that you're trying to get accomplished something. So I want to talk to you about creating habits and keeping them consistently. So let's talk about first disconnecting bad habits. So in order to fill our lives with some really cool habits that are going to lead us to success when we're consistently doing them over time, that's the key. The right habits in place being consistently handled over and over and over again, day in and day out. But oftentimes one of the things that holds us back isn't necessarily just the fact that we're not following those habits consistently, but we're following bad habits consistently. I've caught myself at points in my life where I've spent 3-4 hours a day for a couple of days in a row, maybe, playing Clash of Clans or something like that, right? Or watching a couple episodes of Supernatural or things like that, or I could have been focusing more on my business or my marriage or things like that. Or how about scrolling Facebook? I was talking to my wife the other day, and we're sitting around, and for an hour we sat there and just scrolled Facebook. Man, we could have put our phones down, spent time pulling out a guitar, working on a song that we're writing, spending time together, doing something else that was more constructive. Doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with scrolling Facebook a little bit, but it's a lot of habits in our lives that I'm sure we all have, right? That it's kind of not the greatest habit. Maybe it's over drinking, right? Maybe it's not eating proper good foods consistently that it's going to lead to a long, healthy life. Lack of working out in the gym. You go in there kick ass for a day or two, and then you just take a week off, and you're not going to get the results. So I want to talk about What do you have in your life, first of all, that might be inconsistent? Not inconsistent, a bad habit. Sorry, I'm trying to drive at the same time. Bad habits that maybe you need to knock out, right? Like, are you overeating, over drinking, eating the wrong foods, not spending the quality time in your family that you need to be, or putting on other things? That's more the bad habit, right? Too much television. So we got to start coming up with a list of bad habits in our life that we need to knock out, that we know are not serving us, and then replace them with some good habits. So I want to walk through some of the habits that I do on a daily basis that help me keep driving forward. And so first thing I do when I get out of bed is, before I get out of bed, I usually, the law of attraction, which absolutely works, man. You know how you get out of bed and sometimes you don't feel real great. Maybe you don't feel like you got enough sleep, or maybe you knock your foot on the nightstand or something like that, and you're just kind of in a downward spiral with a bad mood all day, right? It seems that no matter what you do, everything continues to go down that path. That is what you are attracting. So you need to focus on attracting from the get-go, when you get out of bed in the morning, the right things. So my focus is, before I even get out of bed, man, I start dreaming. There's several different levels. Number one, I start visualizing who I am first. I see myself as the leader, as a best-selling author, as somebody that people look up to, as somebody who's making impact on the planet, right? I see how I interact with people, and my ability to communicate, and the power that I carry with me and everywhere I go, right? That people are attracted to what I have to give. And I see myself doing it to the point that I feel emotional about it, right? And that's the biggest key, is getting that feeling of emotion. Then I go through and I start thinking about everything that I'm grateful for. I focus on my wife, the fun little laughs. I focus on every one of my children. I focus on, man, I'm so thankful for God for putting me on this earth, for being an entrepreneur. I love the entrepreneur's life, the creativity of coming up with cool ideas. It's like an artist on a canvas for me. And I go through all the things I'm grateful for, and I feel deeply grateful and emotional. And then the third thing I do before I've gotten out of bed, and this may be 10 minutes long total, right? I'm just laying there as I'm coming awake, and I start focusing on these things. And then I start focusing on visualizing my day, all the tasks that I knew I had to get accomplished. Mostly focusing 80% on income producing items that need to be done, and activities. But I focus on, man, I made that phone call, boom, we crushed it, closed that deal, we hammered out that contract, we did this and this and that, we tested this new traffic source and it exploded, or whatever. I'm seeing my day being successful, and I see myself excited, smacking my hands together, just loving it every minute of it, right? So the next step I do is I sit up in my bed, my feet are touching the floor, and I have a bottle of water already next to me, which is 2 glasses of water, right? I measure my water every day, 1 gallon of water a day. And I already have lemon juice in that water, right? Because your body hasn't had water all night long. It needs to start cleansing, and lemon juice starts cleansing your body, and it also starts alkalizing your body, which is which is what your body needs to stay healthy for a long period of time, over your lifetime, to keep yourself alkalized. And I focus as I drink half the bottle of the water. I'm closing my eyes, and I'm thinking to myself, 1, to cleanse the body. And I'm almost imagining that water being this super powered elixir that hits my body. My body starts glowing like the brightest light you can imagine, shooting out of my fingertips, and anything that was in my body that's harmful, sickness, disease, or anything like that, is just being disintegrated on the spot, right? I'm visualizing that. Then I take the bottle of water, it's great to have some water. And then as I drink the other half of the bottle, I say 1 to cleanse the mind. So it's 1 to cleanse the body, drink, 1 to cleanse the mind. All right, sorry about the video splice. Somebody called me right in the middle of that, and that shuts the video off. So anyway, 1 to cleanse the body. And then as I'm drinking the second half of the bottle of water, it's 1 to cleanse the mind. And I start feeling that almost same, like this power, like this water is some super powered elixir of life, right? And everything in my mind, I got light shooting out of my eyes and my whole body, anything that's been holding me back mentally, fears, procrastination, worry, anything like that. Maybe I don't have what it takes to do this deal or whatever like that. Whatever it is that's in my mind, I blow it completely. I see it just being disintegrated and blown right out of the water. This has really served me a lot. So I wake up in the morning ready to kick serious rear end, right? So it depends what I do from there. If I've got something on my mind that I've had to get done, and I jump up in the morning, sometimes I hit my computer and I start focusing on something for 15, 20 minutes. Maybe it's an email I need to send out. But unless I've got something like that that's on my mind that I am not going to be able to continue with my day until that's done mentally, then the next thing that I end up doing once I jump out of bed will end up being focusing on the morning miracle, right? I jump up, I spend 10 to 15 minutes focusing on reading something inspirational, reading something that's going to help me move forward for the day, or it's something that technical, like how-to technical knowledge on investing or things like that, or acquiring companies, or something that really gets my mind focused on something that's moving me in the direction that I'm moving. I'll do some movement, maybe a bunch of jump squats, things like that, kind of get my body moving. It starts setting my day. And then I get in and cook breakfast for everybody. It's kind of my daily thing, even though Amanda's an amazing cook and she does such a great job. I just have this thing. I like cooking breakfast for everybody. Most of my kids don't necessarily want breakfast. They've already cooked for themselves by the time I get out of bed. But, I cook for me and Amanda and Ethan, sometimes the rest of the kids. So throughout the day, next thing I do is I open my Grant Cardone 10X planner, and I write my goals down. I already have everything planned out, what I'm going to do for the day, exactly what I've got to do to make it happen. And I start writing my goals down. $100 million net worth. I talked about I have an amazing relationship with my wife. I think about all the things that are my priority to keep my focus on. And then I start going through my day and doing my things. But throughout the day, and this is what I talked about in yesterday's video, is throughout the day, if I feel like I'm losing momentum at all, I will turn around, stop for a little bit, re-ground myself. It could be taking a walk. Sometimes it's going to the gym. Sometimes it's doing a 3-mile run. Sometimes it's just listening to a motivational clip from Gary Vaynerchuk or Tom Mercer or somebody for a couple minutes just to kind of get me juiced. And then I sit down and turn around and rewrite my goals again. So I'm rewriting my goals throughout the day constantly. Because there's times, man, when you guys are moving forward and you feel like you can crush it hard for a couple hours, then you lose momentum, right? So I've got to keep that momentum moving, right? Get up and move my body, clap my hands together, get excited. And I focus on getting my momentum back up and rewriting my goals. So to take you through the rest of the day, at the end of the evening, I do two last little habits that are important to me, and that is I celebrate my successes, and then I contemplate my challenges. And I don't mean failures. So here's the way I look at that. You've got areas in your life that maybe you didn't do so great. Maybe you had a goal to be a really loving husband and you didn't do a great job. Maybe you had the idea of you're going to spend a little bit more time with your kids and you didn't really do that. Or you wussed out and decided not to go to the gym. Instead, you went to grab a burger instead. Or whatever, right? Don't beat yourself up over it. Because all that does is stem more negativity in your life, right? So what I'd focus on instead of getting myself down, or maybe you didn't make the phone calls that you needed to, or get all the emails done you needed to. So instead of focus on that, I say, okay, instead of beating myself up, these were challenges to overcome. What can I do tomorrow to make those better? So I put a positive spin on them. So I say, you know what? If I organize my day a little bit better with this, I can do this and that. And every day you grow just a little bit more and get a little bit more straightforward and getting your stuff done the right way, on track with what you need. So I'm looking at a positive way of what I haven't gotten done or didn't accomplish quite to the level that I wanted to. But then I celebrate my successes. I start thinking about all the little things. It could be something small, great family time, a great super hilarious laugh with your spouse, or a phone call that could lead to a great deal, or I got this thing off my list that I've been working on, this webinar, or whatever. I crushed it in the gym. I ate great today. That's one. And for me, I celebrate, man, when I ate great today. And so you want to celebrate your successes. So again, having some habit, get rid of the bad habits. Focus on having some great habits, especially in the morning and the evening. The way you wake up in the morning to start your day, then throughout the day having consistency with keeping your goals and your momentum, and then ending the day contemplating your challenges and celebrating your successes. And doing those things consistently, just like the gym, folks. You eat consistently, clean, you work out consistently, and you're going to see results in the gym. You do that in all areas of your life, being consistent with the right habits, and you're going to see results. So that's it for today, folks. Rock and roll.